Check it out, ladies. I did it as hard as it was. I created a card and I did the inside in the envelope. Join me in the craft room and I'll show you how. Last week I got hardwood and mango medley, but I came up with an idea. So I'm going to be using the hardwood set with my mango medley, and I'm adding a sentiment to this because it needs something. So I'm using Enjoy Today from Eastern Beauty. You can use whatever sentiment you want. I have a, excuse me, I have a scrap of Whisper White for my sentiment and a scrap of Mango Medley for my layer. I'm going to do the triple time stamping. I don't know if you guys know what triple time stamping is, but that's what I'm gonna do. And with that, you'll see in the video, I need, my top layer has a mat of 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, and my top layer itself has 2 by 3 1/4. So there's those. The next step down has a mat of 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 and a layer of 3 by 4 1/4. Then you have your card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4, and your layer on top of that, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece for the inside and my envelope. I'm going to also be working with some repositionable tape. So you want to start with your largest layer. You're setting your mats aside. Then you're going to do your next layer, and you're going to put a little piece of repositionable tape in the back, and you want this centered top to bottom, side to side. And then finally you're going to do your last layer again with some repositionable tape and centering it top to bottom and side to side. So you end up with one whole sheet like this. Now I'm going to pull in a piece of scrap paper, because in order to do this, I like to flip my large background stamps upside down, and you'll find out why. And what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to ink this up all over. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to set it on top, and the key here is it needs to be straight. Then you take your scrap paper, move it over, and I'm sorry it's shaking I debated about the stand and I'm still not happy. I need to find something to anchor it real good. All right. So you want to go all over, and notice I'm rubbing. I'm holding it with one hand and rubbing with the other, because you don't want that to move. All right. Let me take it off, and there we go. Look at that. Now, I kind of like these, not that it's going to matter, but I think I'm going to do it this way because of the way the knots are. So this comes off, and I really don't need this paper anymore. And we're ready to put the card together. So I'm going to fold my card base like so, and I'm going to take my glue, and the key here is to make sure that you keep your pieces all the same way, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so I'm going to flip this over, bring this back up so I can get it on there straight and even, and I'm going to put this down. All right, that's just the repositionable tape. So there I have that. Now, this piece, when you go to put it on, you want to make sure that the pieces line up. See when you do this? If not, look what happens. It's not going to line up. You're going to have this edge. So keep that in mind, that you need to think about how it lines up. Now this piece gets attached to here. All right. And again, just centering it. I got glue on my finger, like so. And then this piece goes on here. So I've got to attach it, and you're just layering after this. All right, and these match up. So match up your, this one is a good one to do because you've got your planks to help keep it lined up. And then we've got our last one to attach. And then I'm going to see which way it goes. So I make sure I get it on there correctly. Okay. Let's see, I think it goes this way. Yep, it does. Okay, so I can attach this. And then this, I'm going to make sure that I have my pieces lined up and then stick it down and hold it. And there's our background. Now all we need is our sentiment and our layer to put on the top, because it really needs something. You can't just leave it like that. Well, I guess you could, but it's going to be very boring. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment like so, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to cut both of these out and be back. I got my piece cut out. I cut this 1/4 of an inch bigger because that's what all of these are. And I'm going to pop this. This could very easily be a card for a guy. I don't know if I would use Mango Medley. It's a little odd, but see, look at that. Okay, let's put this up on Dimensionals. All right, I got my backings off, so it's time to put it down. And there it is. Wouldn't this make a great card for a carpenter or somebody who's in construction? I think it's perfect. And I did the inside and the envelope, and I decided to use the same stamp and just stamp the whole thing over. I did ink the stamp up and then use my paper and rubbed it off for this. And then for this one, I inked up the stamp and I used my paper twice and then stamped it so it's real subtle. I don't want too much so that you can write inside. All right. Now that I've got the really tough one out of the way, let's see what we're gonna do next week. Oh, Pretty Kitty. This could be interesting with a color. And Grapefruit Grove. Oh, not too bad. There are orange kitties. Okay. I hope I inspired you today. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. Love to have other people look at what we do. And don't forget to do the inside and your envelope. Hope I'll see you next week when I do Pretty Kitty and Grapefruit Grove. Have a great day.